we've got to talk about ICE and what is going on across this country with these liberals because of ICE, right? Well, really, it's because of Democrat politicians telling these folks, convincing them that taking out into the streets is going to stop ICE somehow, some kind of way. But we got to talk about it because we got a few wild incidents that have recently happened across this country. Here's one of them. Well, let me put myself on the screen there. All right. So as you guys can see, it says anti-ICE protester claims he's blind in one eye after federal officer shot him with non-lethal weapon in Santa Ana. Yeah. Wild, wild, wild stuff. Now, I want to play the clip for y'all, which is right here, and show y'all exactly why what happened. You see it? I'm not gonna show any blood or anything like that. We're gonna keep it PG here. But he was shot with a pepper ball. I'm sure you guys have seen those. He wasn't shot with an actual bullet. It was a pepper ball. But look, they're being attacked right here. Being attacked, right? This guy's rushing up. She's rushing up. He's rushing up. They're all rushing up when they're trying to take care of this guy. And so now this officer comes up and he's like, yo, what are you doing? You're still walking towards us as we're trying to detain this guy. And here you go. I'm going to bless you with some of this pepper. All right? I'm going to bless your face with a little bit of this pepper. And so that's what happened. Is he got hit with a pepper ball. And obviously, later on in the clip, you can see that he's obviously bleeding and that whole sort of thing, because they eventually drag him off the scene. Now, let's read a little bit more here. Santa Ana, California. His name is Caden Rumler, 21 years old. He was with protesters Friday night in Santa Ana when he and fellow protesters were pulled out by federal officers. Over the phone from the hospital, he says an officer shot in a non-lethal weapon point blank at his face. He will never regain his vision. Doctors tell him he insists he was not being violent and that he was holding a loudspeaker when he was grabbed. I mean, obviously in the video, you can see the guy was walking up on the officers as they were trying to detain this guy. So you can see a little bit of a blurred image there. We're not going to show too much of that just to keep it PG. Although that it is a little blurred, so you can't really see the whole thing. You got a little piece of it though, right? There you go. But yeah, apparently he's lost his vision. Allegedly, he's lost his vision in that eye. And of course, you know, people are crying about it across the internet, including Ed Krasenstein, who is where that post came from. A peaceful 21-year-old protester was shot point blank in the eye, point blank in the face by a DHS/ICE agent with supposedly non-lethal round, leaving him permanently blind, skull fractured, shards of metal and glass lodged near his carotid artery, forced into 6 hours of surgery just to save his life. How is this acceptable? When will law enforcement be held accountable for brutalizing Americans exercising their right to protest? This is state violence, not crowd control. All right, so here's the thing. You're not going to bum rush federal agents and nothing's going to happen. If you want to bum rush federal agents, something is going to happen to you 10 times out of 10, 7 days out of the week, and twice on Sunday if you want to try it on God's day. Right? So I do get it. Because of course they want to they want to rile up the left continuously. Because I was going to say I don't get what these folks don't understand. They understand it, but they want to keep saying stuff like that to continue to rile up the left. You cannot bum rush federal agents. You cannot assault federal agents. If you want to peacefully protest at a safe distance away from the federal agents. You don't need to be a foot away from them in order to peacefully protest. This is common sense. It's common sense. And this type of stuff is going to keep happening. Now let's move on to the next story that I have for y'all, which is a clip that is going absolutely viral right now across the internet. And that is, it's out of Minneapolis, where rioters successfully broke open, here, let me throw it up on the screen, a weapons locker. Yeah, you heard that right. A weapons locker in a federal vehicle and stole a rifle and ammunition before fleeing. I captured the thief's face and license plate on the getaway vehicle. Please share and help identify this POS. I have forwarded this to the top levels of the FBI. So here it is. So this is a federal agent's vehicle that was obviously abandoned at some point, probably because they were overrun, because the police don't help out at all. And there is a weapons locker in the back, and take a look at what happens.
Almost there.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Bullets? There's some bullets.
Hey, that's what he said.
I don't know. Ain't no way. Tourniquet there.
Did he get...
Okay. Hey, don't film that. Who's that? Who does it? He does both. Don't face it. No.
Oh, shit.
And so now police are rushing back onto the scene. I guess because they found out that a weapons locker was broken into, but it's a little too late now, ain't it? Police officers. Now, I know most police officers, it's not their idea to not help ICE. It's politicians, Democrat politicians, so their hands are kind of tied a little bit. So I'm not blaming the officers for this being allowed to happen, but it's too little too late. That thing is gone. Absolutely gone. But we got another story as well. And I'm going to play the video instead of doing any type of reading for that. So check it out.
Okay.
All right.
And we know this involves a car that crashed. They say the subject they were initially trying to detain fled on foot. Officer caught up with the subject, attempted to take him into custody. The
subject was an illegal, right? That they were trying to arrest. Just wanted you guys to know that because they didn't say that in this report, apparently.
They began to resist. And then once there was a scuffle, the officer said 2 other people came out and attacked him as well. He fired a shot to defend himself, and all 3 went into an apartment and barricaded themselves inside. So we know there are multiple pieces of the scene. We're not sure how far away the crashed car, fled on foot versus apartment that was barricaded are from each other.
All right, let's try this one more time. Maury Glover on the scene there. All right, we are having so much trouble with Maury.
It's not Maury's fault.
Well, I'm worried because no, I'm not really worried, but he's fine. But the last time we talked to him, last time our viewers heard from him, he was in having respiratory issues from the chemical irritants. So when we can, producer, yeah, we'd sure love to. Lori in the booth and Danny directing, we'd love to go to him.
Okay. And I mean, we can maybe presume that these law enforcement officials may be on the scene for a long time, because as we've gotten the statement from DHS, there are a number of places where all of this played out.
You can kind of see now, Kelsey, it looks like that entire city block, the center of your screen, is basically the scene which we are dealing with. You can see the flashing lights in the center of that square. It's a city block, and then pretty much everything around the perimeters looks like it has law enforcement or other personnel, emergency personnel, in those streets there in that Hawthorne neighborhood.
So there you have it. An ICE agent was attempting to arrest an illegal, caught up to the guy, got him on the ground. They're scuffling. They're going back and forth. Two individuals come out of a nearby apartment or a home and start assaulting the ICE agent with a shovel. Start hitting him with the shovel. Now, obviously, I don't know if y'all have seen some videos, but I know I have, of an individual getting smacked in the forehead with the shovel. It wasn't pretty. It was not pretty. He took a nice little nap after that, that's for sure. So, of course, the ICE agent, fearing for his life, pulled out his firearm and proceeded to put a hot one, proceeded to bless him with a hot one in the leg. And that's when all three of them took off back into the apartment or the home and barricaded themselves in. And so that has happened recently as well. Like I said, man, there's all types of stories across this entire country of just some absolutely wild stuff. And of course, people are going to cry and scream, oh, he didn't have to shoot him. Why did he shoot? And it's like, because he was being assaulted with a darn shovel while he's trying to wrestle with this other guy on the ground. Like, duh, he's going to shoot. Oh, bro, I really don't understand liberals. I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't. They keep doing this type of stuff, and it ends the exact same way that the last one ended. And it's like, bro, how many times do you need to watch this movie before you know how it ends? Like, if you assault a federal agent, if you assault a police officer, you're going to be shot. You're going to be shot. But people will cry and complain, oh, they shot this person or that person. Why'd they shoot them? Well, maybe because that officer was being threatened. Okay, that officer was in fear for their life because this individual did not just simply comply. All you got to do is comply. And if you disagree with whatever it is that they said you did, then fight it in court. Fighting in court is better than being stuck 6 feet in the dirt. I'm just saying. I mean, this is simple. But according to these liberals, man, life is way too complicated for them. I don't know, man. I really don't understand it. I really don't understand it. It's crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. But as always, I just wanted to bring a couple of wild stories to y'all. So just a little recap. One guy got shot in the face by a pepper ball and apparently is going to be blind for the rest of his life because he wanted to interfere with ICE agents and them arresting an individual. And he thought, running up on them was a great idea. In another instance, a weapon of a rifle was stolen out of the back of a federal agent's vehicle. So now there's a rifle out there floating around somewhere, and who knows, what they plan on doing with that rifle. Okay. And in the third one, an illegal got shot in the leg because he was resisting arrest and somebody else decided they would run out to try to help him and start beating the ICE agent with a shovel. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. These ICE agents deserve a major raise. Pay them $300,000 a year. I don't care. $500,000 because the stuff that they going through out here in these streets, boy, I tell you, is absolutely ridiculous. Get in the comments. Let me know. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.